like people. Oliver Goldsmith was once told by Ben Jonson, you suffer from the Irish disease. You want people to like you. And I have to confess, that's probably true. I want people to like me. I like them. My name is Tony Hughes, and I've been a teacher at Miquon this is my 44th year. I started out as a music teacher. I taught music for 5 years or so, and then I became interested in education. And by the time that 5 years was done, I was really fascinated by how kids learned what was important. At that point, every 2 or 3 years, we hit some kind of financial strait. And so the principal, a guy named Sam Stewart, asked me, would you be willing to take over and do some of the maintenance with kids for the year? So for about 2 years, I had a wonderful job where I would have a few kids every day, about a third of a class, and we fixed things, and we made things for classroom teachers for education. And I took them to lumber yards and hardware stores, and I've often thought those kids got a really good look at the nuts and bolts of how things are put together.
Tony, I like your class a lot. I think you're very great at science.
I learned so much about monarch butterflies.
Gardens. Those little cars. Those tops. Then when we made taffy. The cars out of Connect. I like going down to the bird blind.
And talk about specific birds and what they eat.
My style is really inquiry, to have kids ask questions and look for answers, to explore. And I love open-ended exploration. I love it when a kid asks me a question that I don't know the answer to, or I'm not sure of the answer to. And more than once I've said, well, here's what I think, but you can try it and find out. And I've been wrong. I've never been afraid to say I don't know. And I think at a school like this, if you're afraid to say I don't know, you're in really deep trouble.
I'm not sure how exactly I'm supposed to get this piece onto this. I thought they were called pulleys.
But this little thing here is the pulley, whether it's here or whether it's in that block. Most of our kids are not going to become scientists. Some of them are. Some are going to become doctors or researchers or chemists, but most of them aren't. But science has had an enormous effect on their lives, on all of our lives. That I want them to understand that, because I tell them, you're going to be asked to make decisions about some of these things, and I'd like you to make your decisions from a base of knowledge. That's one of the reasons I started the invention show 30 years ago. Come up with an idea and then test it, and then realize it didn't quite work, and then test it again, and finally end up with something they were proud of.
I love you when you let us play with hot glue guns.
Tony, I learned how to solder from you.
Tony, the fire table is cool because we get to burn stuff.
We get to use a drill, we get to use a saw,
So the sander, which is kind of scary.
and the hot glue guns, even though sometimes I've gotten burnt with them.
And so it makes me feel like you trust us.
You trusted us, and that is a really good thing.
Look, Tony! Tony, we found a caterpillar.
My wife Lynn and I arrive in the same car. These days, I'm in my classroom all day and she's in her classroom. We go home at the end of the day. It's great fun going home and talking about what we did during the day. We're both talented teachers with lots of ideas and lots of willingness to support each other. I didn't know much about computers, and she did, and then when we got them here, I became really interested in that. The school has always encouraged teachers to use their interests, to bring them into the classroom as much as possible. This year, I made root beer with almost all the kids and explained what the process was, and I like cooking. I bake bread with most of the kids.
Tony, I really like the lollipops.
I like making root beer.
Making root beer and making our airplanes that will really fly.
There's this program on the computer called Scratch.
Scratch?
Scratch.
Like, look through microscopes on the computer.
Especially some of the stuff about atoms and molecules.
I love getting to know my colleagues, and there's a varied bunch of people, but there's a deep kind of trust that we have for each other and a concern for each other. And I remember when I started, knowing nothing, doors were opened for me by teachers who assured me it was fine, just follow your heart, and if you have some trouble, ask some questions. So I was quickly brought into the community and made a part of it, and I think it's one of my responsibilities is to do that for other new teachers who come here. And we just have been extremely fortunate, even in recent years, to get some wonderful new teachers. So as I'm retiring and leaving, I'm feeling like the school is in very good hands.
I like singing with you.
I liked it when we sang Miquon in our hearts.
I wrote the Miquon School song, yes. That was written at the 50th anniversary, or golden anniversary. Sometimes you'll write a song that sounds like it's really pretty good, and then later on you look at it again and say, oh, well, it's a little lame. This one's a good song. I'm pleased with it.
This valley drew us one by one to come and find a school where kids.
I'll miss my colleagues. I'll miss the kids in particular. They just taste that.
What is it?
It's crap. My career has been, I couldn't have imagined that it would be as good as it has been. I could never find anything else, anywhere else, that looked anywhere near as satisfying as what I was doing. And yes, I couldn't ask for a better 44 years.
Goodbye, Tony. I will miss you a lot.
You did all those fun projects with us, and I'll really miss you.
I'm gonna miss you a lot, Tony. Tony, I'm gonna miss you. And I like you really, really much. Tony, I really love you. We love you, Tony! I love you, Tony! We love you, Tony!
Really, thanks for all you've done for me and for the school, and just have a great retirement.
Miquon in my heart. Yes, I got a lot of Miquon in my heart.